In most games, ranking up means that you took the time to grind the most kills, or that you played long enough to earn that shiny badge or that top gear score. But in Foxhole, it's all about earning the respect of your fellow soldiers. Today I'm going to be breaking down the best way to rank up in Foxhole, and I'll also be talking about mistakes players make that leave them in the lower ranks. In Foxhole, the way to rank up is by earning commends from other players. Commends are like thank you cards that players collect by doing various tasks in the game. Earning and giving out commends is fundamentally all about working together in this game. You could jump into the game for the first time, head straight to the front lines, and wipe out the entire enemy faction. But if no one sees you do it, you won't receive any commends at all. Without those, you'll be stuck at the bottom with no rank. There are 19 ranks in total. The first rank, Private, only requires 1 commend. The highest rank, Field Marshal, takes a staggering 29,900 total commends. This game has been out for nearly 9 years, and only about 30 players have reached that level. Seeing one Field Marshal in the game is like spotting a unicorn. At its core, this system rewards selfless and often tedious work, the kind that actually moves the war effort forward. Things like being a medic, logistics, building, and coordinating operations. They may not be glamorous, but they're vital, and players who put in that kind of effort are more than likely to be commended. This system is different from most games because it's entirely community driven. Your hours played and your kill count don't matter. It's not about raw skill or time investment either. It's about impact. Rank is less a reflection of how good you are, and more of a reflection about how much others appreciate what you do. There is one thing that you should know about Foxhole ranks as well though. Over time, most of the community has come to agree on one thing. Rank really doesn't matter. One of the first things I tell new players about ranks in Foxhole is, don't assume competence comes from the player's rank. There are a lot of different roles in Foxhole that players can take on. I know some majors that have put all their time into the front lines, and would have no idea where to begin on how to build a facility. And I've met plenty of logistics players in the backline that have no idea how to operate a tank in the heat of battle. Rank is only a small indicator to show how much time someone is truly invested in this game, and it doesn't guarantee knowledge, skill, or leadership. For those of you that don't know, ranks in Foxhole don't unlock better weapons either. They don't give you more vehicles or special abilities, and they don't give you the edge in combat or grant you any exclusive mechanics. So if they don't come with gameplay advantages, why bother ranking up? From my experience, the only real benefit of a high rank is perception. A higher rank can give others the confidence to follow your lead, whether it's leading a mammon rush on the front lines, building a new bunker base, or coordinating logi that is needed on the front. But even that isn't guaranteed. I've seen sergeants with strong voices and clear plans lead higher ranks on the front lines, simply because they sounded confident and knew what they were doing. What I'm ultimately trying to say is that ranks can be misleading. A player who only runs logistics might rack up commends and climb the ranks quickly, but that doesn't mean they're experienced in combat or know the game inside and out. Even having 1,000 plus hours doesn't automatically make someone a veteran. Time played in Foxhole doesn't always equal understanding. There was even a community poll not long ago asking what defines a vet in Foxhole. Most players agreed it's not about rank. It's about consistency, teamwork, and a deeper understanding of how the war actually works. Now, after everything I've said, I did promise to talk about how to rank up quickly in Foxhole, in case you still care about what your rank is. The fastest way to earn commends in this game is by being useful, visible, and reliable. Players commend those who actively support them, whether on the front lines or in the back lines. On the front, being a medic who's constantly reviving wounded players and getting them back into the fight is one of the most viable and appreciated roles. You'll earn commends just by being there when it counts. In the backline, you can support logistics players by delivering supplies to the front, hauling around materials, or helping with facility work. These may not be glamorous jobs, but they're essential to the war effort, and players will notice when you do these tasks. If your only goal is to climb the ranks as fast as possible, then delivering frontline supplies, especially as a new player, is your best bet. It's one of the most direct ways to earn commends quickly and consistently. But ultimately, it all comes down to one question. How can you be the most helpful player out there? Focus on that, and the commends and ranks will come naturally. The next way to rank up is just by being a positive player. Salty players don't get commends. Helpful, calm, and positive players do. I've seen toxic players on the battlefield with brilliant strategies and well thought out plans, but even after they've led a successful op, I never once felt the urge to commend them. Meanwhile, there's sometimes that one upbeat player cracking jokes and keeping the morale high, even as everything goes wrong. They're the ones that are getting my commends every time. It's not just about not being a jerk. Barking orders rarely works. Instead, we need to try lighthearted, collaborative language, stuff like, Hey, we've got some RPGs here, perfect for clearing out those tanks. Let's grab a few and hit them where it hurts. Any absolute legends want to help me build a new forward bunker base? We should do some partisan work over there, just to annoy the other faction. Who's in? When players feel like they're part of the idea, and not just following orders, they're way more likely to help and commend you afterward. Now, do I sometimes trust higher ranks a little more than lower ranks? Sure, but at the end of the day, I'll follow anyone regardless of rank. If they're friendly, have a clear plan, and make it sound doable. It's really simple. People don't commend bosses, they commend teammates. Next, as you spend more time in Foxhole, you'll come to realize that some of the most important tasks in the game are often thankless, and that's okay. You might spend an hour hauling to the front, refueling tanks, or keeping a facility running, and no one says a word, no commends, and no messages of thanks. You have to be okay with not always being seen. You have to remind yourself that what you're doing matters, even if no one's watching, because at the end of the day, you're not just playing for recognition, you're helping your team win the war. And I think that's something to be proud of. I think another important aspect of Foxhole's rank system that's worth discussing is Officer Cadet syndrome. While it doesn't happen to everyone, and it's joked about more than it actually occurs, it's still a real phase that some players go through. Think of it as part of a natural curve. Early on, you pay a lot of attention to your own rank and those around you. Then you hit Officer Cadet, and suddenly you feel like you've made it. You start thinking anyone below you doesn't know what they're doing, and anyone above you is just an old salty vet stuck in their ways. Another way to put Officer Cadet syndrome is when players know just enough to sound confident, but not enough to fully understand the mechanics, strategies, or systems that they're trying to lead in the game. It's the classic enough knowledge to be dangerous stage. We've all been there in some way. It's a learning curve, and I believe there's no shame in going through it. But the important thing is to recognize it and grow past it eventually. Again, not every officer cadet falls into this behavior. Many of them are humble, helpful, and eager to learn, but the stereotype does exist for a reason, and it's something to be aware of, especially if you start feeling like you're suddenly above everyone else just because your rank says so. Now on the flip side, don't take officer cadets' hate too seriously. Most of the time it's just in-game banter. I feel like this problem only really arises when players start gatekeeping things, putting others down, or refusing to listen, whether they're the officer cadet themselves or someone else reacting to one. The truth is, at the end of the day, some people just won't listen to you, no matter what your rank is or how right you might be, and that's okay. At the end of the day, this is just a game. You're not solely responsible for winning the entire war. Don't fall into the mindset that you are. Focus on having fun, learning, and working with others, not on trying to assert your authority through a title on your nameplate. Rank is just part of the journey. What really matters is the friends that we made along the way. A few other things before we close this conversation out. Don't commend trade. It's cringe and very frowned upon within the community. Earn your rank naturally. I know some of you might say, I'm maxed out on commends and I need to give them away. Why not trade them? And to that I say, why not go to the front or back line and give them to the people that deserve them? You can blow through 100 commends pretty fast by giving them out to builders, medics, and logi players. Oh, and one other thing, don't beg for commends in chat as well. That's super cringe as well. I've heard from time to time players suggest expanding Foxhole's rank system, maybe introducing different ranks for different tasks, or adding players' profiles with medals to highlight individual accomplishments. I think on the surface it sounds pretty appealing. Why wouldn't you want recognition for your special contributions? But in my opinion, adding too much individuality to Foxhole would pull the game away from what makes it special. One of the main things Foxhole focuses on is being one soldier among many in a massive war. You're not a hero with a flashy badge or a glowing profile. You're just part of the machine like the rest of us. Whether you're digging trenches, hauling fuel, holding a flank, or leading a charge, I believe the game's strength lies in its teamwork, coordination, and its overall shared effort. The more we elevate individualism, the more we risk undermining that focus. I think the current commend-based rank system already strikes a careful balance. It encourages helpfulness, visibility among your teammates, and reliability with helping others. You're rewarded for contributing to the team, not for padding stats or showing off. Overall, if you carry yourself well, support your team, and treat others with respect, commends will naturally follow. And remember, there's no one-size-fits-all path to ranking up. It depends entirely on how you choose to spend your time in the war effort. There are many players out there with thousands of hours that are still in lower ranks, and it's not because they are bad players. So don't stress about chasing a rank, just play the game, be useful, and have fun. Let the commends come as the recognition for being the kind of players others want to fight alongside. What are your thoughts on the rank system in Foxhole? Do you think it should be changed or different? Have you had a good experience with lower ranks or higher ranks? Let me know in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching and for your support. Make sure to subscribe for more Foxhole content. I'll see you out on the battlefield. Cheers.